Hello, everybody. Welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, I also publish on Rumble and on Patreon for access support. Any kind of updates and the such, I usually go about on Twitter X. I did manage to yesterday publish the last episode of the Callisto Protocol gaming series. I will leave it here as an active gameplay series for a while, as usual, until at least I introduce another series. I think, in the meantime, I did manage to record Firewatch and Planet of Lana. So Monday I will announce which game I will be doing the gaming series next on, and see if I until Monday I can get around and record a couple of more demos in games that I'm interested in and that are on my wish list on Steam. So keep your eyes peeled on it. Again, I will try to do my best. Again, I'm still reeling in and trying to recoup fully regarding my, I don't know, we can call it a shoulder injury. I think it was kind of a pinch nerve or something like that. But yeah, I'm still get a little bit uncomfortable sitting for long periods of time, mainly because of the how you sit and the position of the shoulder and everything. But yeah, I will try to do my best to get record going. But yeah, I will continue to do the gaming news program because again, it's kind of a short period of time that where I can do this kind of thing for now. But yeah, other than that, updates. This basically is again, we got a lot of stuff coming up. Again, we are approaching Monster Hunter Wilds. We got the second time for the open beta phase two before the official launch. Yeah, hopefully, again, the open beta will not, just a quick reminder, the open beta will not have the optimizations in terms of how the game runs that they already worked on. And I suppose, I'm not sure regarding, I think the benchmark tool is the most up to date in terms of what to expect in terms of performance of the hardware that you have on the game. But yeah, it's a little bit pushy on the hardware. But again, I think the game so far, at least from what I've been seeing, it seems pretty good. I think the main issue is the engine itself. Again, I think because the game engine was made, so the To the Moon engine, the RE engine, whatever they are calling these days, it was made. I think they first introduced on Resident Evil 7 or Biohazard, and I think it was made ground up to this kind of style of games like Resident Evil, so not open world games, very kind of corridors, smaller areas. I think it didn't take an account originally with a lot of NPC routines and stuff that usually push a little bit more the CPU side of things. Because I think on the open world games that we've been seeing, especially Dragon's Dogma 2 and Monster Hunter Wilds, I think there is a lot of CPU lack of optimization, let's say, mainly because of what usually those open world games really need to take advantage, which is a lot of NPCs, so the monsters, a lot of open areas, and all the workload that the CPU usually does. I think it's a little bit um, uh, a little bit a stranglehold there. It strangleholds too much the workloads in terms of the CPU. I think they again. It's other than that, in terms of the graphic fidelity, the game engine seems pretty good, especially with the Resident Evil games. We see good graphic fidelity. Even Dragon's Dogma 2 does seem to be pretty good engine. And from what I see, Monster Hunter Wilds seems when tweaked well, it seems also pretty good in terms of graphic fidelity. Again, it also we have to also take in account always art style of what they go for in terms of the art style of the overall game itself. But yeah, I think they will need to tweak a little bit more and improve the CPU utilization, and to a certain extent also GPU, because there are certain scenarios, it seems, even on the benchmark stuff. I missed that regarding, for example, the part where we have a lot of sand, just a couple of monsters. It does seem that the hardware should perform a little bit better. But yeah, I think it's a work in progress because again, this is kind of relatively new engine which was adapted very recently to open world games. And again, that's the perception that I have. The game was more in line for kind of a Resident Evil kind of games that we've been seeing throughout the Resident Evil 7 Village and the remakes they've been doing. Again, I will assume in, I don't know, in the next couple of years, they might be in the engineering part of things, they might be do some uplifts in terms of how the engine behaves itself. But yeah, it's something that we hopefully see that they, I don't know, steam out those wrinkles that the game engine is, because I think the game engine is, it seems pretty good, and it's good for the competition of game engines on the market, because again, we saw, for example, a very excellent game engine which was the Red engine, which was basically on its full splendor on Cyberpunk, but it was pretty much introduced on a very large scale on The Witcher 3, and the huge potentialities that that game engine has in terms of graphic fidelity, even at the time where the game came out, and the mod, the way you can integrate mods on that engine. I think the tools are pretty good, but again, we know that CDPR basically lost their engineering staff. I'm not sure, or they lost the know-how how to build games from that engine, and they transferred themselves to Unreal Engine, which has its own issues there in terms of optimization and vertical stuttering issues again. And I think the more engines that we have, or at least game engines, even if they are kind of proprietary to the publishing arm, in this case, to the Moon Engine, to Capcom, and as such, I think it's good because it keeps the competition in its toes and trying to provide a better engine for their own games. But yeah, just this little side note here regarding game engines and the Monster Hunter Wilds that will come up. I don't know, 10, almost 28, 13 days or so. No, 15 days. Sorry, give or take. But yeah, well, I will wait for. I will try to play the beta stuff again, which is this weekend, if not mistaken, and also I will see about the reviews, see if it's worth a try and a buy from my side, and probably at least play for myself. But again, in terms of doing live streams, again at this moment in time with my, let's say, health situation, given that I cannot sit to for long periods of time. Again, it's going to see wait and see scenario for that one. But yeah, let's go to the news. Yesterday, after I did the video, in the meantime, there was some kind of leaks, let's say, of the RDNA 4 pricing. This came from a Canadian retailer, which is Canada Computers, I think, and they again have to take it this with a huge grain of salt. Again, these are Canadian dollars, but here on the article they translate to US dollars, and the prices that were posted on Canadian dollars were without any kind of tax included. And again, I will assume this is without any kind of more information. I will assume these were placeholder prices for these GPUs, um, because I think this is again one of the reasons that I will assume AMD was aiming for this kind of MSRP to this kind of GPUs from AIBs, and they were thinking about launching with this kind of prices, which goes in line to the fact that they just had to basically cancel out of the fact after the CES keynote from Nvidia, just pushing a little bit more aggressive on the pricing on the, especially on the 5070 Ti and the 5070 cards, which was 7050 Ti is supposedly MSRP $750, and the 70 sorry, 5070 550, if not mistaken. And this goes in line with the fact that supposedly, I don't know, let's choose one here, the XFX, which is the same kind of brand that I have, my own 7900 XTX. Um, DOC thing here, they were hovering around $800 or so, give or take, the XT version of the GPU, while the non-XT variant were around 650, let's say, to roundabout things. And again, at this price point, they are not going to be competitive, even if they perform better than the counterparts from NVIDIA. And again, this is AIB cards, it's not MSRP of like founders editions. But yeah, even Power Core usually brings a little bit more cheaper on the AIB models, even usually with this kind of same performance. But yeah, usually I think XFX Power Core usually have good high-end GPUs, and its Sapphire also is a very good AIB partner with AMD. RDNA GPUs. But yeah, it seems that this is was I don't know, placeholder price for these GPUs. But yeah, they were removed. I think everything now it's kind of been cleaned. There was no way, from I understand, of searching for this, Google it. But yeah, I think this is something that was an error from the insider of from inside the retailer there, but at least gives us an idea of trying to comprehend the picture of all of the sudden AMD just went black and dark and didn't say anything, and then postponing the supposedly upcoming event and the upcoming launch of the GPUs on March. But yeah, again, my expectation and to a certain degree my hope is that we will have a good launch from AMD with inventory, with very high aggressive or very aggressive pricing comparatively to the 70 NVIDIA class cards, and perform, if not at the same level, at least a little bit better, but being a lot more cheaper. So with more inventory, and again with the technology support, for example, the FSR4 being a huge uplift in terms of quality, to be more comparable to NVIDIA's DLSS in terms of upscaling side of things. If they can manage it, I think they might hit a little bit of the market share and put some pressure on NVIDIA, at least on that. What we can assume around between the 500 and $600 class cards, whereabouts, even though it's a little bit too much for like 5 years ago what this kind of class cards usually cost. But yeah, hopefully we'll have, I don't know, a little bit more competition to see if how things go. But again, we'll always have to wait for independent reviews and see how it behaves with what we already have on the market. We can speculate to the end of the year, but again, until it gets launched, things start selling, the reviews come out, and compare it with all other products that are already out. We are going to speculate this until then. But yeah, in terms of hardware, this is what I got here. In terms of games, yesterday there was a lot of previews coming out from Elden Ring, Nightreign, just before the closed network test comes up, which is tomorrow, I think, if not mistaken. And a lot of previews came out. I watched Vatvadia, usual. There was Facts of Life also played a little bit there, and the usual suspects that usually do. Small Town also did some play. Uh, Played the preview side of things, and they show up. But the footage that we will see from these videos is going to be basically the same because it was footage provided from software as a B-roll. But yeah, the game seems completely a little bit more different that people were speculating. Very seems very fast paced, but really, really fast paced. It's all about just thinking through your toes. You cannot stop to admire the view. Basically, it's just smash all the enemies that you can, gather resources, trying to figure out which suits best for your character and for your party on the journey there. And but it seems pretty fun in that sense, and it seems that the game is really designed to be balanced around three players. At least from the previews that I watched, it seems that way. And then we have, of course, now we have a launch date, May 30th, so not that far. And we already have some pricing here, so $40 for the standard edition. Then we got the other editions there. Again, no microtransactions, so you pay, you get the full thing, you unlock everything by playing the game, which is always good. I will assume probably, I don't know, if the game sells well, They might be working on, I don't know, DLC with like characters or builds or something like that that might be added up later in the game, or like a pack of bosses or something like that that might add to the game itself. I don't think From Software will do just like season passes or anything. Will not introduce something like that. I think they are very, in terms of the philosophy of Miyazaki on the studio side of things. I don't think they're going to be launching anything like this, those kind of shenanigans. Hopefully, again, they're with the Sony stuff there from Kadokawa and Sony, and I don't know, maybe some pressure from the publisher of introducing some kind of thing. If this game sells way too well, but again, we'll have to wait and see. But my expectation is maybe if the game sells well, I don't know, 6 months or maybe even a year, because it took 2 years until the Shadow of the Earth 3 came after Elden Ring. But yeah, probably a year or so. If the game sells well in the first couple of months, I think they probably will announce maybe some like a huge package of a DLC similar like the Shadow of the Earth 3 that might revamp or add a lot of more stuff on the Night Train game. But yeah, I like the fact that they're trying to experiment here with this kind of formula here. But yeah, hopefully we'll get some good feedback also from people that play the closed network test there. But yeah, other than that, again, we'll have to wait until May 30th until the reviews and all that jazz. But yeah, it seems to be a good game coming out. Then we got an announcement regarding the altars. It seems to be delayed. It was supposed to launch first quarter this year, but it seems to be delayed overall for the this year. I don't know when. We got an official announcement, very in line with the in-game kind of lore thing. I already played the beta and already published. Seems very interesting what they're trying to do here. But yeah, again, I think it's they want more time to polish. The beta when I played, I think it could benefit with more polish in terms of optimization at least. But other than that, again, it's a beta. Sorry, it's a demo, so the full experience was not there. But in terms of optimization on how to use resources on the PC, I think it would benefit, and I think they want to take their time and smooth things out. At least that's what it seems here. So I don't think we need to worry too much. I prefer to wait a little bit more for a game that I'm curious in playing than to just have a disappointment launch in terms of the game not working properly, crashing, or something like that. Then we had yesterday also the PlayStation, how they call it, the PlayStation, whatever the event it was. Where is this? There is no showcase, state of play. Sorry. We saw again. I'm just going to cover. There was a lot of stuff. I watched the thing. There was a lot of stuff there that I didn't like. A lot of slap jobs that are of games that coming out for sure, and some games that are just the cringe dialogue and the cringe presentation of the setup of those games. Again, I'm not going to cover that. I'm just going to cover what got my attention. We got a little bit more details on Onimusha Way of the Sword. We got a new trailer for the protagonist, which is basically Miyamoto Musashi. The character model is based on Toshiro Mifune, which is an iconic Japanese movie star who portrayed Musashi in classic samurai films, and he was, I think, one of the favorite actors from. Oh my god. Um, where is he called? The very well known Japanese director Kurosawa. That's the name that I wanted to say. Yeah, he was a very used actor from Kurosawa. Again, it's interesting that point. And yeah, we got a little bit more details on the trailer itself, on the gameplay. Again, it's going to be very kind of realistic feel on the sense that the combat, the sword combat and all that jazz is going to be very grounded. It seems. Uh, and yeah, some humorous moments here and there, some quick quips. from the character itself. But yeah, I'm interested in this game. This game also, again, it's going to the Moon engine. Let's see how it behaves. Again, the graphics seems okay. It seems like an in-game trailer. But yeah, I liked what I saw. Hopefully, until then we'll have more news regarding this game. Then we got an update also from Helices. Again, I covered this game a couple of times. They did a showcase of a trailer and some interviews already. I'm very interested in this game. The setup is kind of a more exploration game. I think they're not going to provide any kind of maps or something like that. It's going to be very Dark Souls in that sense. So you have to explore an open world without any hints or any kind of map to guide yourself. What you have to guide for yourself is like your notepad of trying to track quests or stuff that you might want to do. But other than that, I don't think there's going to be any kind of waypoints and navigation aids in that sense, which is very interesting. And the combat, when you interact in combat with enemies, it's going to be, it seems like a mix between Souls like, but more action style thing happening there. But yeah, I'm very interested. And the setup also of the game itself seemed interesting. And again, they also launched with that a new trailer. Very interested. Again, it's kind of a story trailer to a certain extent with the release date, which is going to come up in September 4th. Price $60 again, normal price, which is always good to see. But yeah, we got the deluxe editions that have early access and all that jazz. A little bit more extra, and they say they want to put the base price of the games $100 when you have $80. It just creeps up in our wallet. But yeah, um, as the setup of the game is a third-person action adventure game that combines intense melee combat with a thrill of exploration. I think the exploration here is the key thing, and the puzzles and resolving puzzles and all that stuff. And again, explore semi open world to find answers to your questions and face mysterious creatures along your journey. Again, I'm very hopeful for this game. Again, kind of an indie studio kind of project here, which is always good to see. Then we got more updates of Lost Soul Aside. We got a launch date, May 30, um, and supposedly it will come also to Steam. Again, for all the games that have Steam pages, I will leave the link on the description. Yeah, this game seems to be in the vein of kind of Devil May Cry inspired kind of a games, like the combat itself. I just hope that the story is good enough to serve for the action. But yeah, it's very interesting. This game has already had a couple of trailers, piqued the interest of a lot of people. Again, we need to wait for the launch of this game when it comes out and check the reviews. We got also Liza P. Finally, we got the official confirmation that it's going to be a DLC, and the name of the DLC, which is Overture. The DLC will serve kind of as a prequel story-wise. Again, I still didn't play the game, Liza P, but supposedly I don't know what kind of mechanic. It transports you to the city of Craft in its final days of haunting late 19th century Belle Epic beauty. So it's supposedly the DLC will take place before the main game timeline. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see how this goes. Again, the main game seems to be very good. I'm interested in one of these days picking up this game and try it out. Um, yeah, this year. I think it's the launch window. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see when they give us a more detailed date for the launch of the DLC there. Then we got again confirmation of Celebrate coming to PC in June, alongside with another collaboration, Goddess of Victory Nikke DLC. Again, I don't know this Nikke what it is. We already have from Near Automata, I think, some skins there. And we got other upcoming collaborations also, if not mistaken. But again, comes to Steam June. You can now wishlist it. I will leave the Steam page of this game on the description. Then we got also, this was very curious, fantasy action adventure game, Tides of Annihilation. Um, Very interesting. The setup seems uh, the, the the setup is they created a world that reimagines Arthurian legend, where themes of courage, loyalty, and heroism intertwined with an epic story set in a strange yet familiar setting that will test the mettle of true gamers and push the genre forward. Again, this is from the creative director, if not mistaken, or the game director. Again, it seems to be on the current world kind of a thing here, or at least a futuristic world with seems to be like an invasion or something like that. And the main protagonist, the lady, is Gwendolyn. Again, pulling out from Arthurian legend, and I think she can summon the spirits of the Arthurian legend heroes. So it's going to be interesting. Again, this is from a Chinese studio. Again, they are coming up with excellent setups for games. You got a woman, a lady that is a heroine. She doesn't brute force her way out of the combat. She has other ways to go about and use her powers by summoning Arthurian legend heroes. Again, the trailer itself was very interesting. Seems to be kind of a mix between very action style, kind of, I don't know, God of War in terms of the combat itself, it seems, with some light RPG elements to it. On the progression of, I assume, abilities and unlockables in terms of the summons can do, which is very, very interesting. I got very curious about this game, and it will come also PC, even though it was from the state of play. Again, very curious about this game. And then lastly, we got from Housemarque, um, announced Saros. Again, coming up next year. This is the same guys that did Returnal, which seems to be a pretty good game, kind of a roguelike kind of a game there, with very difficult combat. Yeah, and it's based kind of the same premise with some tweaks here and there. It's not part of the same world, but they want to take. They took a little bit of that experience and let's say they improved and upgraded the experience of the gameplay mechanics on that. The fact that it's an action game on the off-world colony of Carcosa. Again, this reminds me the yellow, yellow whatever it is from Lovecraftian lore. You got the Carcosa, which is also mentioned on True Detective first season. The Carcosa thing and the flat circle, time is a flat circle, and all that jazz, and the fact that this guy, again, it seems very interesting. The setup of the trailer is very interesting. In terms of gameplay mechanics, I think they tweaked a little bit on the permanent upgrades. I think you can choose certain things and all that jazz. So a little bit tweaks here and there, which seems very interesting to me. Yeah, I'm curious about this game. Again, at this moment, coming to PlayStation 5 only next year, but Returnal then got a PC port afterwards. It came out on the console, so I think we can expect this on PC. But yeah, other than that, this is what I caught my attention from yesterday. I will just wrap up with some gaming deals. We still have Baldur's Gate 3 for sale, 20% off on Steam. We got Bioshock Collection still on sale. Again, the trilogy being that the first two games are the remastered versions, plus Bioshock Infinite and all the DLC associated with all the free games. Then we got Midnight Suns still on sale, 85% off. Stamp of approval for my part. If you're not sure about this game, you can check out my gameplay series on this game. I think the first couple episodes will give you a sense what this game is about. Then you got Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy, more action kind of a game there. 85% off, very positive reviews overall. And it seems to, I will play it eventually. I managed to claim it for free on Epic Game Store a few months ago. And then lastly, we got Blasphemous, the first one. If you're not sure if this game is for you, given that it's a little bit hard, you got a demo here. And yeah, it's 75% off. I think from the feedback that people have playing this game, I think it's a pretty good one. If you like kind of Metroidvania with Souls-like combat, I think this game might be for you. Again, I usually am not I don't enjoy too much this side-scrolling kind of Metroidvania kind of style, but you never know. I might give it a try one of these days. But yeah, I'll wrap up this episode here with a plug on my Patreon for access support. This access support is more in line for me to be able to upgrade and get a better storage solution so I can have backups of the stuff that I do for my clients, and of course some extra space for the videos that I do for the channel. And with all that said, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. So until then, Kunami Master out.